Hi everyone. So it is empties time. I feel like the last time I did an empties, like a week later, I finished a bunch of stuff. So it hasn't been super long, but I have a lot of stuff in here. So I'm just gonna jump in so that I don't take too long. Ulta Beauty 100 Premium Pillow Cotton Pads. So these are the lint-free style, which I think I probably have some more down here. Do I? No. I have a different brand, but the same thing. It's the Swispers Cotton Pillows. I don't remember where I got these. I feel like Walgreens, maybe? I think so. So they're the same thing, and I'll show you. The whole lint-free thing, it's like a little envelope, basically. And so there's nothing fuzzy. And there's this little pocket, and that's where the cotton is inside. So it's really nice for taking off nail polish because the fuzzy bits don't get all gunked up in your polish, which just bugs me. And also they're pretty durable, so if you're using them to like remove makeup, so that's why I have some at my desk here, because sometimes I'm like, my foundation looks so horrendous, I've got to take it all off. So I'll just use one or two of those and take off all of my foundation. Works pretty well. So I like these, and I just go with whatever I can get a good deal on, and the bag is recyclable. Hooray, Ulta. So I would definitely repurchase these from Ulta or Swispers. Whoever makes the lint-free cotton pads, I'm on board. I just repurchased this. I have bought many bottles of this. It's my favorite just go-to moisturizer that I can stick into my routine if my face is dry, if it's more oily. There's always some spot in my routine for this. It's the CeraVe PM Facial Moisturizing Lotion. Ultra lightweight is a very good description of it. It's just a very light kind of lotiony gel type thing, and it just sinks in super fast. It's got lots of good stuff in it: ceramides, niacinamide, hyaluronic acid. If my skin is super irritated over like changing my makeup too many times, or like I've been doing different and not moisturizing well enough, or too much exfoliation with the different, whatever. If my skin is raw, sensitive, sore, this will sting a bit, but as long as my face isn't sore, this doesn't sting. I think it's the niacinamide that can sting a little bit. Paula's Choice Beautypedia review does mention that some other people with the reformulation of more niacinamide said that sometimes it causes stinging. For me, it's only stinging when my face is really sore. And when I'm more dry, I do use more moisturizing products, but I almost always have some slot where I stick this in. So right now my skin is more dry, and during the day I often will use this and the Paula's Choice Niacinamide 10% booster, and use that underneath my SPF, which I'm going to mention in a second. And at night I might mix like a little oil into this, or put a little oil on first and then some other skincare and then this on top, whatever. The SPF that I was talking about, the Paula's Choice Resist Super Light Daily Wrinkle Defense SPF 30. I need to crack open my box that has this in it. They have repackaged, so the packaging looks a little bit different. This is my Holy Grail SPF. It leaves a very rubbery, grippy surface that if you don't put anything on top, feels kind of uncomfortable. But if you wear foundation, it can really, in my experience, really hold on to foundation really well. So this is my just absolute favorite SPF for under makeup. It prolongs the wear of my makeup, makes application better for some foundations. It's just such good stuff. Hidden gem. Try it out. If your skin is more dry, you definitely will have to hydrate a good amount underneath it, otherwise it can feel a little drying. I finally finished this. I had like one use left for weeks and weeks. I'm not really into the whole double cleanse situation, cleansing oil thing. It's just, I wash off my makeup in the shower, so I need to keep everything dry in order to use a cleansing oil or cleansing balm, so that's why I just often don't. very itchy. Trying to delicately scratch my face without taking any makeup off. So this is the Simple Hydrating Cleansing Oil. I think Paula's Choice rated this well, is why I had tried it out, and it's fine. One thing that is, a couple things that are like, first of all, it says apply 2 to 3 drops on dry hands. What? How can you take your makeup off with 2 to 3 drops? That makes no sense. It's like a puddle. I need a puddle in order to take my makeup off with this. It says avoid getting into your eyes. Okay. Again, if I'm taking my makeup off, I'm taking off my eye makeup as well. So it's always getting in my eyes. And what else did it say? Remove seal under cap and shake before use. I don't know if you're supposed to shake it every time. I never remember to shake it because it's a cleansing oil. So just FYI. It worked okay. It worked fine to take off my makeup. No better, no worse than any other cleansing oil I've used. So, it doesn't have any like irritating ingredients in it, which is nice. So if you're looking for a drugstore cleansing oil, I think that one's fine. A hair item, always exciting. This came in, I think, a Target beauty box. It's the Dove Refreshing Care Fresh Coconut Dry Shampoo. This probably has my favorite scent of any dry shampoo I've used. I've come around to the Drybar Detox Dry Shampoo, but that's pretty strong. And this one is just less in your face. It's less intense, and it's a scent I really liked. And I feel like this dry shampoo works well for a few hours, but like many, many dry shampoos I've experienced, at the end of the day, my hair will look as bad or possibly worse than it did at the beginning of the day. And the magic of the Drybar Detox Dry Shampoo is that doesn't happen. So I would probably buy this actually just because the scent is so nice. And if I'm only trying to get my hair to look decent for going out in the public for a couple hours, then I would probably use it in that circumstance. And just knowing that it's a scent that I don't mind is really pretty big. So yeah, I enjoyed this more than I was anticipating, and it does work well for a short period of time. So certainly a lot cheaper than the Drybar, which is so expensive. A couple more skincare items. I finished my Differin gel. This is the I always think it's Adalpine, but it's not. It's Adapalene gel, 0.1%. So this is over the counter now in the United States, and it's retinoid, and I use this every day. Unless I notice that my skin is getting really sensitive and sore, I might take one day off, and it's just been kind of a journey to figure out the best way to apply this so it doesn't dry out and irritate my skin. It does work different than a lot of other retinoids, so you can use it in different ways. Like you can combine it with other things. You can put moisturizer on underneath first. It's a little different, some other retinoids. So what I do sometimes is I mix in some jojoba oil into it and then apply it. Other times I'll do, like if my face is feeling really dry, I'll do a very light layer of the oil first and let that sink in a little bit, like 5-10 minutes or something if I can, and then go in with this. I'm not really sure what the best process is. Someone left a comment here recently on one of my videos and said that a dermatologist recommended putting like the CeraVe in first and let that soak in for like 30 minutes or something, and then go in with this on top of it, and it won't affect the efficacy, so it will still continue to have the good benefits without drying out your face. So that's another option. But yeah, I did buy the larger tube of it, and that's what I'm using now. Honestly, I'm not really sure if I've noticed a huge difference as far as like lines go. I feel like I've had a lot of good things happening in my skincare routine lately, so that like things are looking a little bit smoother. But when my face is more dry, it does look more wrinkly, as makes sense. And keeping my face hydrated has been a bit of a challenge, so I don't know. Maybe if it were in the summer, I would see more noticeable effects of it, like improving my skin. But I do feel like it has helped a little bit with some like clogged pores that just never go away. Just little bumps around my face, like up on my forehead. I've had these same 3 small bumps right up here for years, possibly. And I feel like it's like they came more to the surface and were able to just like come off almost. So now I'm down to like 1 bump and 1 like half bump up there, which is pretty big because I have up there, I've always had those little bumps, and also I have some around my mouth down here, and those are the things that just never ever go away. I've tried like the Paul's Choice BHA 9 and that did nothing. So this, I feel like it does help with those little bumps, those just like forever clogged pore things, whatever they are. And that's pretty exciting. So I don't know on the anti-aging front, I don't know, but it does seem to help me with the little kind of clogged pore situation. Okay, so Cover FX, clear cover, SPF 30. I like how this wears under makeup, and I thought, hey, I'm gonna be able to use it more now that it's drier, because this was just, I couldn't use it in the summer because my skin was too oily, but my skin is very much not oily right now. The pump broke on this, and like the Peter Thomas Roth Max Sheer All Day something moisture defense something SPF 30, that thing my husband sawed off the top in order to get to it because the vacuum pump failed. This one, and I had little bits of plastic in my SPF. I put it into a different container. I just was not willing to deal with the product packaging being destroyed and inside the product, so I just gave up and decided to throw it away. This came as like a free gift with a Cover FX purchase I made maybe when I bought the foundation. I can't remember, the Power Play foundation. I'm not sure. There's still like half a bottle in here, but the pump died and you can't screw off the top, so I tried to pull it off with pliers and failed, as you can see. Just use a regular pump, you know? At least, okay, if you're not going to use a regular pump, have a screw on top so that when it inevitably fails, not all of these things fail, but 2 high-end SPFs have failed in this way on me, and there's nothing you can do. You're just it's just busted, and you have to like hack apart the packaging in order to get to the product. It's not right. It's not right. Squeezy tube. Do the squeezy tube. Okay, so the rest is kind of makeup related. This one's kind of on the line makeup, skincare. The Lanolips Lano 101 Ointment Multi-Balm in Strawberries. So if you had followed UK YouTubers many years ago, I feel like the Lanolips were pretty popular for a time. Maybe it was just because, no, it wasn't just a model recommends, Ruth Crilly. I do feel like there were some other people that I followed that were in the UK that talked about the Lanolips stuff. So I have an old video talking about how I cured my flaky lips. Cured is a little bit much. Following this very complicated routine, I could keep my lips completely flake-free, which I don't do now. It's basically intense amounts of exfoliation and keeping lanolin on my lips 24/7. So the Lanolips is heavy on the lanolin, which is a product from sheep, so you may not feel great about that. It's the grease, basically, that's in their wool. So do with that what you will. So this kind of product is generally, my lips seem to respond pretty well to lanolin, so that's why I'd wanted to try it. They now sell it at Ulta. And I just didn't really feel the magic of the lanolin that I remembered having years back, because I've been using more like petroleum-based products, and I feel like they're working pretty much the same for me. I used this overnight exclusively, and the downside was the tube cracked. Can you see that? So it was like the last bits that I was getting out of there, it was like oozing out of the crack, and it just felt like it wasn't really sealed that well, because while Like the lid covers it. If I squish it down, when I put the lid on and let go, it kind of expands again. So obviously air is getting in there. So that's a bummer that yet again, another busted packaging, but at least this one didn't completely make it inaccessible to get the product. But would I recommend it? Probably. They are kind of expensive. If you're looking for a lip product that has like a lip applicator tube, these are good options. You can also buy, if you're not concerned about having something that you can apply straight to your lips, you can just buy like the medical grade lanolin that Lansana sells, and I'm sure other brands sell, but that one I know is very affordable. You get a very large tube for a small amount of money, and they sell it as like nipple cream, lip nipple balm, something like that, for women that are nursing babies and their nipples get cracked, etc. Personally, I never found the lanolin actually to be helpful for that. I found personally what worked best was just letting some of the breast milk dry on the nipple situation. That seemed to let it heal so much faster, because I only had problems with my first baby, who is 5 now. He had a tongue tie, a pretty bad tongue tie that was released, but he just had some oral motor difficulties for quite a while. And so he just didn't latch properly until he was probably like 3+ months. And so he clamped down a lot, and he was like too far forward. He was never far enough on, etc., etc. So my nipples got like seriously messed up for the first like maybe month or so. But I did find the breast milk drying on the boob situation was the best thing to help that. Personally, I never found the lanolin to be helpful. But anyway, long story about lanolin and boobs. I have a couple Real Techniques sponges. I feel like these are falling apart kind of quickly. I don't know if it's because of the soap I'm using or what, but they're just getting lots of little cracks really easily, and just like cracks all over the place. And then once they start cracking like that, they tend to leave little bits of foam on my face, and it's like the texture changes. I don't know. I do wash them every time after I use them, so they are getting washed a lot, but I feel like they're just falling apart faster than they used to. Did get these for a really good price, but still, it's kind of a bummer that they started falling apart so quickly. Let's see. Oh, this is a skincare thing, sort of. The Paula's Choice Gentle Cleansing Cloths. I got a sample and I liked it a lot. Their thing with this is that it's a cleansing cloth that also has the liquid also works as a toner. And I kind of like that idea. And at first I felt like my skin felt better after I cleaned my face using these than say like the Garnier micellar water cloths. But I used one not long after using this one, and I feel like it felt pretty much the same. The Garnier ones are cheaper, obviously, but I would definitely buy these because it took off my makeup really nicely. The only time I take off my makeup with something like this is during the day when I have one of those moments where my foundation is so awful that I have to take it off and put it back on. So I don't use these, any cleansing makeup wipes on a regular basis, but I would consider buying these because I did feel like my skin felt really good, though it may be the same as the Garnier, and it may have been all in my head of how much better it felt. All right, last couple things. I'm not sure. I think I'm ready to give up on the Lash Paradise mascara. I don't know, maybe I'll try one more non-Mystic Black, because the Mystic Black, I don't know if they're still making it. I think it's supposed to be like an extra black. I don't know. I think that's what it said on the packaging, that had like more black pigments. I don't know. But this thing got so clumpy and dried out so quickly, and I kind of helped it along for a little bit because it was even worse now that it was colder inside. So I would like put it under my leg to try to warm it up while I'm doing my makeup. It would be slightly less thick and clumpy, but it's just, it goes too fast. I don't understand how they could still be sucking up leaves. I'm just gonna have to finish this up because otherwise I'm gonna run out of time. So Maybelline Color Sensational Shaping Lip Liner in 105 Nude Whisper. I had picked this up because of Taylor. So I can still get a color out. I really like the color and the formula is fine. But is this one that was like, yeah, it broke and completely dried out. Some things, if they break off in these mechanical pencils, they're still fine to use. They haven't completely dried out, but this one just completely dried out. So like, it was painful to try to get that swatch on my hand. It's just totally dried out. I don't know if I probably wouldn't buy it again. I just don't use lip liner enough. Like I liked the color and I felt like it was not something that I had in my collection. I appreciated that it was like on the lighter end of the spectrum for nude liners, and it was a drugstore nude liner, so that's also nice. So I would definitely recommend it if you're looking for like a fairly neutral, not too brown, not too pink, not too peach lip liner that's nude for fair skin. Definitely check it out, but I don't know that I would repurchase it just because I just generally want to just put on a lipstick and be done, because I'm just lazy, I guess. And last thing is a little sample of Gimme Brow, and this was in, I think, like medium brown or something. I think this was supposed to be like a one-time use. I used it quite a few times and it was okay. Tinted brow gel. I didn't feel like I had a ton of hold. My eyebrows, I don't trim them, so the ends especially tend to like really droop down into like the crease of my eye. And I feel like the ColourPop tinted brow gel, the Brow Boss gel in dark brown, which is what I have in my brows today for brow gel, I feel like that one actually has a little bit better hold perhaps. So if you are making a ColourPop purchase, it might be worth trying it out because it is quite affordable compared to something like Boy Brow or Gimme Brow, or what else is there that's expensive? Like the Milk has a brow gel that everybody's loving right now too. So I don't know. So far I like the colored tinted Brow Boss gel from ColourPop more than I was expecting. So I would say it's quite similar to Gimme Brow, but I do feel like it holds my brows in place fairly well, and it also seems to be good with sweat because I have this like crazy overactive sweat gland that's like right up here at the front of my brow. So especially in the winter when I'm feeling like cold and clammy, like it will just beads of sweat, and like when I have something that's not particularly water resistant in brow products, like I had the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Plumper, it was actually like starting to drip down so you could see like kind of a blank spot where that sweat was, and then a little line of whatever. I have not had problems with the ColourPop one actually, so it doesn't run on me like the that L'Oreal does. I don't know about the Gimme Brow because I wasn't paying attention. It's that sweaty eyebrow situation is way worse in the winter, so it's not something that I notice all that much in the summer. So not that I was using this in the summer, but I wasn't, I think it was, I used it for so much shorter of a time, I didn't really notice the sweaty eyebrow effects, whether it held up to it or not. But anyway, that's everything. So I'm just going to stop talking now because I've been talking for so long. Let me know if you finished up anything recently, whether or not you would purchase it again. Oh, side note, I probably would not buy Gimme Brow, but if I could get another sample or get like a small size in a kit that I was interested in, I would definitely use it because I love brow products and I like tinted brow gels, etc. So yeah, let me know if you've finished anything up recently and whether you would buy it again, if you've tried any of these things, and if they worked for you, didn't work for you. I would love to hear from you in the comments. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video today. If you aren't already, please do subscribe, and I will see you later. Now, what do I say? I hope you are having a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon.